So I thought we would talk about Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday and Marvel. They've got a massive issue ahead of themselves with this movie. Now, they've spent a significant amount of money on this film already, even before the cameras started rolling. Somewhere in the region of for both movies, somewhere in the region of $180 million, which is it's a lot of money. It's a hell of a lot of money, and that was just the payments for 3 people. So $80 million to the Russo brothers for both movies. So what's that, $20 million each? A film. Not bad. Not bad payday if you can get it, hey. But then Robert Downey Jr. was said to get much more than the Russo brothers. So the guesstimate was $100 million. So $50 million a movie for Robert Downey Jr. Now, this movie comes at a time where the MCU's kind of in flux. It's like it doesn't really know where it is or where it's going. They were building towards the Kang dynasty, and obviously things happened with Jonathan Majors. They chose to relieve him of his contract and said, no thanks, we're good. But they were building towards that. Now, that direction wasn't great. A lot of people weren't liking it. The multiversal directions. Multiverse it's a big old MacGuffin that, people use, writers, studios, creatives use, so they can get around the holes that they have written for themselves previously. We can bring this character back. They're popular. We can do this. We can kill this person off. It's a really easy catch-all narrative tool. It's lazy as well, actually. But people weren't really liking the multiverses. So, obviously, they got rid of Kang with a slew of movies that weren't great. And then afterwards, still didn't really seem like they knew where they were going. They touted Captain America Brave New World as a movie. I mean, there are quite literally interviews about this where Anthony Mackie was like, you have to watch this. This is setting the groundwork for everything to come. I mean, I've watched it, obviously, for this channel. It wasn't very good. It was an abysmal film. It wasn't very good at all. And it wasn't because of Anthony Mackie. I don't think he should be Captain America, but it wasn't because of him. He's not a bad actor. If you want to watch him sort of flex his acting chops, watch Synchronic. Very good in that. I've heard he's very good in what is it? Heavy Metal. Is it Heavy Metal? I don't know. There's a Paramount. I think it's a Paramount Plus show, video game adaptation. Anyway, I digress. So that was sort of floundered, and then you had the Thunderbolts, which was not a horrendous film, but again, sort of suffered from the same old kind of Marvel stuff that, their narrative and the way they frame things. It just sort of felt very similar, very cookie cutter, paint by numbers. And then, and then there was the Marvels as well. There was that. That wasn't very good. Loki season 2 ended with him being the god at the center of everything. Anyway, Fantastic Four came and went, and that was a bit of a disaster, and it didn't really capture people's attention. It didn't do very well in theaters. It hasn't done very well on Disney Plus. We know, we've got the numbers. It's the lowest debut of any Marvel property on Disney Plus. Very bad. Very, very bad. About 4, if I remember rightly off the top of my head, about 4 odd million people watched it. Not great. Not great. So, Marvel has an issue for Doomsday. It needs to do well. It has to do well. And then you start seeing things like this. Marvel Studios will release 4 different trailers for Avengers Doomsday in theaters. 4? And this, you start to feel that desperation come through. And they are in a precarious situation. When you're at the top, it's very easy to fall. And I think that that's what's happening here. And they're trying to hold on for dear life. 4 trailers. 4 trailers. Not brilliant. And that's been confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter, who's also provided a few more details on plans for the rollout. So they said, Disney is sending theaters 4 different trailers for the Marvel Mega Movie. Each will play 1 week before switching to the next. So if you see Fire and Ash opening weekend, you'll get trailer 1. If you go a week later, you'll get trailer 2. And so on, so forth. Mad. And you got people commenting on it. It says, I know of one of the differences between the 4 trailers, and I would call it more of a stylistic change rather than a change with real substance. I heard there are other changes beyond that, but I'm keeping my expectations in check, not expecting 4 completely unique trailers. Well, a stylistic one's a bit of a misdirection. You shouldn't be doing a stylistic change if that's not going to be representative of the film that people then go and watch. People get annoyed at that. And there is a supposed breakdown here as well. Avengers Doomsday leak. I'm an employee at Cinesystem Cinemas in Rio de Janeiro, and I saw the first trailer that came out. We have access to the first trailer, but the other 2 trailers are still locked with key encryption. These next 2 trailers will be shown weeks after the movies are released. The trailer is 1 minute 47 seconds long. The opening of the trailer is a bunch of different galaxies and Reed Richards' voice talking about Franklin and his powers. Next was what looked like the X-Mansion on fire in some kind of cinematic shot with some kind of Marvel medical music playing in the background. Pedro Pascal. It looks like he's getting a distress signal from Loki in the Baxter building for about 40 seconds. It looks like Doctor Doom in his metal armor, just as we imagined with a mask, but we don't hear him speak. He's only seen looking at the flag in Latveria, while we see the first photo of him in the castle in Latveria. We see the TVA completely destroyed for a few seconds. The most exciting clip that was sad is that... Let me take a look at this a bit more. What's sad is that we see Doctor Doom grab Magneto, use his telekinesis powers for the first time we see, and push him to the ground with a lot of fighting going on in the background. We also see a quick photo of the Sentinels. Doom teleports like the TVA with the orange outline, and we see him entering the Fantastic World, or Fantastic Four world, with an army of Sentinels, while the reconstruction of the city is happening for a few seconds, and then it cuts black, and we see the logo for Avengers Doomsday. So apparently that's it. Interesting. Interesting. But then we're starting getting reports like this. It's boring. Apparently all of them are boring. And again, you start to think that, yeah, this might be the movie that signals to Marvel they need to give it a break or downsize their productions or something. Switch up something, because it ain't working. Now, I don't know. You know, we will wait and see. But it seems that way. It does seem that way. So it's an interesting one. All of this is very, very interesting. You've got to remember, this is a movie that already has a $180 million price tag. Thereabouts. Definitely 80. And we know that Robert Downey Jr. got paid more than the Russo brothers. A lot more, apparently. So 180 is a worthwhile speculation. But yeah, having boring trailers isn't very good when there is not really that much hype for this movie. You've got to remember as well, this movie begun shooting when they hadn't even finished the script. And they've already gone back for reshoots. They were making up a lot of stuff as they went along. A lot of the rumours that came out about this were not great. And I know people always hear rumour and they go, well, that's obviously just nonsense. All of the rumours, about 99% of rumours, about 99% of the films have been correct. Got no reason to doubt this one. So yeah, boring trailers. Not great. Now this person could be clickbaiting. Who knows? But if that is the case, I do think that this will signal just a massive culture shift. And maybe we'll get away from superhero movies. Who knows? But I thought we'd talk about this. Leave your thoughts down below. Bye now.